Hello everyone, welcome to the part 2 of virtual labs for computer science students. Now I am going to start with a virtual lab called Webminal. Webminal is a free Linux online terminal and programming IDE. This virtual lab supports GCC and G++ compilers, but you need sudo permissions. Without sudo permissions, it is not possible to execute the bytecode. If you want sudo permissions, you need to write a mail to the Webminal team by mentioning your college or school ID. And Webminal supports Python 2.75 version. I can say that Webminal is the best virtual lab for Unix programming because it provides so many tutorials to practice shell scripting in the bash. Webminal supports MySQL, but you need to request Webminal admin to update your records. So to make use of these MySQL feature, Webminal it doesn't support all Python 3 versions. So if you want to make use of this Webminal virtual lab, just click on this URL and just try to open it in your browser. First of all, to make use of this virtual lab, you need to register yourself with this Webminal web interface. So click on register. So in this page, you need to provide your username, email address, and password, and you need to accept terms and conditions, and just click on the register. So once you click on the register, you are going to receive an activation link to your registered mail address. So you just click on the activation link to activate your account, and after 2 minutes, come back to the same web page and click on login. So now you just provide your username and type your password that you have taken during registration and click on login. After successful login, click on the option terminal. Here you need to provide the same username and password to enter into the bash. I am going to enter my username and password. As I said previously, this virtual lab is best for learning shell programming because it provides tutorials as well as practicing platform side by side so that you can learn from the tutorials. At the same time, you can practice those commands in the terminal instantaneously like this. Not just through the textual explanation and documents, Webminal has a special feature called Webminal Play, where you can learn shell scripting by watching screenshots and practicing in the shell platform at the same time. So now I want you to click on this play button. In order to make use of this Webminal Play, again you need to log in with your username and password. So I am going to enter my username and password. After successful login, go to the tutorial section and click on any one of the experiment you need. You can see that control is automatically redirected to the screenshot explanation of the topic. Simply click on play button. As you can see, this type of tutorials will definitely help students to learn immediately. After completion of all these tutorials, click on the home button and click on the logout. One important reminder about Webinar Virtual Lab is if you are inactive for 60 seconds, your session is automatically ended and you need to log in again. So this is all about Webinar Virtual Lab. Next, I am going to show you another virtual lab named Python Anyway. Website pythonanyway.com is actually meant to host, run, and to code Python in the cloud. But with the beginner account, we can make use of different services like Bash that support GCC compiler and G++ compiler, Python 3 as well as Python 2, and MySQL database. In order to make use of these services, click on this hyperlink pythonanyway.com. In this web page, click on Start Running Python Online. We are going to create beginner account. So just click on the Create Beginner Account button here. Now in the registration page, you need to provide your username and your email ID and password and accept their terms and conditions and click on register. Once you click on register, you will be receiving a mail to verify your email address. After email verification, click on login. In the login page, you just provide your username and password and press enter. After successful login, you will be landed into your dashboard. At the starting of the dashboard, you can see few statistics of your account, CPU usage, as well as file storage. By default, 512 MB of storage will be given for the default account. Just below these statistics, you can find four different sections: recent consoles that you have opened, and the recent files that you have opened and edited, and the recent Jupyter notebooks that you have created, and the recent Python web applications that you have created. These four sections will be key to your Python Anywhere website. These plus and minus symbols are used to represent the number of entities that you want to see at a time. For example, if you take recent files, now I want to see only four recent files. Then click on minus. Now you can see only four recent files are showing to you. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one C program for you, and we are going to execute that C program in the console called bash. So now click on browse files. Now you will see one text box. In that text box, just enter your file name f1.c and click on new file. It immediately creates one new file called f1.c, and initially it is empty. Now in this text editor, you need to type your program. If your program is ready, click on save and go to the options and click on dashboard. In the dashboard, go to the section recent consoles and click on view all. So here you can see Python Anywhere website supports different types of consoles, and now I'm going to open a console called bash. It takes some time to load bash console. After loading, type ls command. Ls. It displays list of files available in the console. Now you can see program f1.c is available to the console. Now what I am going to do is I am going to use GCC compiler to compile this file f1.c. After successful compilation, I am going to execute this simple C program /a.out. As you can see, our program f1.c has successfully executed. Now go to the option menu and click on dashboard. You have to follow the same procedure for other programming languages like Python and C++. Now I am going to show you how to create MySQL database and how to start using it from the MySQL console. On the top right corner of this web page, click on databases. Go to the section create database and provide your new database name. So here I am going to create a database called new. I have already created it. Usually database names are prefixed with your username followed by the dollar symbol and followed by your database name. So if you want to set any password for your MySQL database, you can do it in the MySQL password section. And if you want to access this newly created database, actually there are two different ways. You can directly click on this hyperlink that opens MySQL console with new database, or else you can click on dashboard and click on view all in the recent console. Click on MySQL console. So now it opens MySQL console with default database. Later on, you can change default database to new database using the statement use. So now just type one command, show databases, and press enter. These are the list of databases available. And now you can change your database to new database by using use command. So type that command, use space your database name. Your database name is prefixed by your username. So my username, dollar symbol, $, and your database name, and then press enter. So now you can create tables and you can perform different DML commands and DDL commands and DCL commands on these databases. This is how we can make use of different consoles provided by the Python anywhere. Once you complete all your experiment, go back to the dashboard, and all consoles that you have opened and all files you have opened will be persistent, and you can log out from your session and come back and just log in into your session. All these things will be persisted. So next virtual lab that I am going to show you is OnWorks. OnWorks is a free hosting provider for workstations. OnWorks is a multi-device platform and run any type of operating system using web browser. One important thing you need to remember, OnWorks is going to destroy your open session of virtual machine if you are not using it for 5 minutes. So let's create one free Ubuntu Genome virtual machine. Open this URL www.onworks.net. In this web page, you will find different options for different workstations. Now scroll down in this web page. You can find so many OS distributions. I am going to select Ubuntu Genome and click on enter. In this page, you will find an option called Run Online. Click on Run Online. As you can see, we are about to start Ubuntu OS 16.04. Now click on Start. It takes some time, almost 25 to 30 seconds. Selecting OS image, copying OS image, as well as the loading OS image and mounting all the required file systems and the kernel. And then our workstation is going to be start with the root permissions, and the root password is 123456. Here you will have two different options. On the left hand side, you can see we have plus and minus. Plus is used to increase virtual machine size, and minus is used to decrease virtual machine size. If you scroll down a little bit, you will have two other options: save session and open session. Save session is going to save your work, and open session is going to open your previous work in this virtual machine. Coming to the right hand side of this virtual machine, you will find three different options. Home, to return back to the home page. Load my files. Load my files option is used to load files into this VM from your local file system. Whereas save my files. Save my files option is used to save files from this VM workstation into your local file system. So this is how we can use these options. In this workstation, you are having sudo permissions. You can install any type of software through terminal or from Ubuntu Marketplace. This is all about OnWorks Complete Workstation. The same kind of workstation service is also provided by linuxju.net. In this page, log in with your username and password. So I'm logging with my username and password and click on login. On successful login, next click on join queue and click on switch on. So it is going to start your virtual machine. It takes some time. After successful completion of boot process, click on connect tab and find out JavaScript VNC. So click on the JavaScript VNC hyperlink. It is going to open your virtual machine in another tab. So after completion of connection, you will be seeing a login page like this. So click on the username ls and the password is secure and click on sign in. Now you need to complete genome initial setup. So click on English and click on next. Now connecting your online accounts. You can simply skip this step. Click on skip and now click on start using CentOS Linux. Now you can minimize the help section and you can continue your work with these workstations like you do with your physical desktop machines. In this way, we can use VMs of OnWorks and VM provided by the Linux U as a virtual lab. So, thank you very much for watching my videos.